Hello, my name is Kendra, the official business renovator. Welcome to my page. I am so happy to have you here today. And I hope that you enjoy. Of course, feel free to like, share, or comment on the video, as well as follow to get notifications for when I upload any new information. And also the link is in the bio where you can find all of the products that I would like to share with you on how to advance in your career. I'm going to read from an article and then I'm going to give my feedback in between there. If some of you may know, and if you're new to my page, you do not know that I did recently release a book called The Great Promotion, where I discuss how I was promoted 4 times in 6 months and received a bonus while working from home. And so my name is Kendra, the official business renovator. Welcome. Today we are going to talk about discovering your talents, how and why this is important. I oftentimes am very proud to say that I have a knack for emphasizing them and helping people to figure out their strengths and bringing that out in them, bringing out the best in them. And so I definitely am excited to talk about this topic. So as you already know from seeing other videos on my channel, the format that I use is that I will read through an article and then I will add within it my comments and feedbacks to what the author has listed. Okay, and I hope that you enjoy. Discovering your talents, how and why it's important. In this article, we explore the importance of discovering and understanding your talents and skills and how you can go about developing and mastering them. At some point in your life, it is highly likely that you'll be asked by someone if you might even be the one asking yourself what you're good at. Right? This is a relatively common question, but for some it can cause distress, right? So if you do not have an immediate answer to such a question, and it's understandable that you might not, you may well come to the conclusion that you're not good at anything. And unfortunately, this way of thinking is harmful and unproductive, and absolutely I do not promote that on my page, right? I'm always talking about recording your accomplishments, reminding yourself of those accomplishments, echoing those accomplishments, because actually everything is about confidence, right? So it says many coaching experts and psychologists believe that it takes a minimum of 10,000 hours of practice to master a skill. That's right, 10,000 hours. The theoretical gift of being naturally good at something is merely a myth, because what really develops talent is practice, right? So now when was the last time that you put 10,000 hours of practice into mastering a new skill? The answer may be a clue to the answer you are looking for. Reflecting on your skills, talents, competencies, and personal characteristics, yes, definitions below, is a great place to start in helping you to discover yourself and improve them. Begin with self-belief, promoting your strengths, and neutralizing your weaknesses. Do this on your resume, at work, in your social life, and with short-term goals. With time, depending on your goals, look at the weaknesses holding you back and the subsequent skills you need to develop. Essentially, there are 4 factors that make up our capabilities. Bear with us. They are closely interlinked, but we'll explain the differences. So the 4 factors are ability, talent, competency, and personal characteristics. So before we go into that, I want to go back up to what she said about practicing, right? So she said that you need 10,000 hours of practice to master a skill. I absolutely 100% believe this, right? So we are practicing till we make perfect, right? So practice can look like over the years, right? We see this in countless lives of people. They are accomplishing things later on in life, while others that are gifted, they are actually able to focus on things in their youth, and then they are able to become one of the great masters in our world, right? And in our time. And being a master looks different, right, for each and every person, right? So I believe in you're born for a purpose, for a reason. You're here to do something. We all are connected and we all play an important role in this world, right? Whether you are the guy that hands me my sandwich for the day, or you're the guy that picks up my trash, or you're the guy that creates the computer and the phone that I'm sitting on working on now, right? So I believe that we all work together. We're all connected. We all have these interactions with each other. So you are a master of what you are a master of, right? But as we're practicing, as I mentioned, some of us, it takes that 10,000 hours to come across years and years of our lives, right? So how do you stay confident within that? You're going to constantly remind yourself of the great things that you have done, right? And life, I feel like, constantly plays that tune against you, right? It's so much more easier, as she even mentions, that it's easier to not know, or you might say, what she say? You may well come to the conclusion that you're not good at anything, but I promise you, you are. One phone call with me and I'll show you where you are. But that's a whole nother subject, and you can click on the link in the bio for my products and blah, 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 right? So I want to go back to, I want to make sure that I pointed that out though, right? Practice is how you become a master, right? So in that practice looks different for everyone. For some people, like doctors, practice is the years in school. They do that back to back. For some of us, practice is, traveling across the world, right? Coming back, going to school for a couple of years, leaving again. Oh, and then I got pregnant. Oh, and then I did this, so practice, right? So in those 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours looks different for every person, but each and every one of us has a gift and a reason for being here. Each and every one of us are good at something, right? And so it is my job when someone employs me in that manner, and it's really my gift, I'm able to find out what you're really good at, right? And so I like this article, and I hope that you all enjoy this. So, because I'm already enjoying it and I'm getting super excited, if you can't tell, talking about this, because I really do enjoy bringing out the strength of people. I love when people are confident in themselves, right? Because when you're confident, you can accomplish anything that is meant for you to accomplish, right? So I love this. So the 4 essential factors that she brings up to make us make up our capabilities, our ability, talent, competency, and personal characteristics. So ability is the technical skill required to perform certain tasks, developed from theory and practice. I love this word, practice. I'm loving it. Okay. So for example, driving a car or using a computer. Most professions can be carried out thanks to ability. Skills which add knowledge and experience. In isolation, these cannot be considered a gift, as computers and robots can also be programmed with skills to replace human work. So, ability. Talent. Talent is the abilities that we are born with, which lead to a satisfactory performance, both in learning and in the execution of skills. For example, the talent to negotiate, invent, or communicate. There is a difference between possessing a skill and having the talent to perform that skill. A person with talent for a profession can learn to execute the profession far more easily. Talent can also be associated with vocation. Talent. So talent is a gift that you are born with. It is an innate ability, right? Ability is a skill required to perform certain tasks, but you develop it from practice. But talent is what you're born with. It's your gift. Competency is a total sum of talent with a skill. The association leads to superior results than those obtained by people who have only the talent or skill separately. For example, glad she gave an example. A Formula One racer is a person who has the ability to drive cars with the natural talent to compete. It implies that the more skill and talent together, the greater the chances of success. I love that. So competency is the total sum of talent with the skill. So ability is a practice skill, a technical skill. Talent is the gift. Like, for instance, the Formula One has the talent to compete. And then competency is the total sum of a talent with a skill. I love this article. This is great. All right, and then personal characteristics. This depends on the set of values, beliefs, paradigms, physical and psychogenic characteristics, and the influence of the external environment. This can be transformed by adding new experiences and is dependent on each person's way of life. An example here would be diet and fitness level in sport. I love this. So how can I discover my talents? That's the question. Now that we've outlined the important factors and aspects to our capabilities and talents, it's time to explore what our true talents are, but how? Here are 3 quick and effective ways to work out what your talents and to truly discover your best self. So 1, call on those you know. Ask your closest friends and family members what they think you do best and what you are good at. If you don't want to ask directly, look out for and think about compliments you usually receive relating to things you have done. I think this is definitely true. You got to be cautious with how you do that, right? So others' impressions of you does not make who you are. Others' impressions of you is your reflection to that specific person, right? So you want to make sure when you call on others, you are loosely using that information. As she mentions, if you don't want to directly ask, look out and think about compliments that you usually receive and then relating to the things you have done, right? Like I tell people, and this would be interesting. So my talent would be that I am, I want to say this story correctly. My personal characteristic is that I'm the oldest of 9, right? My ability, so my personal characteristic is that I was born into a home where I'm the eldest of 9 children, right? But then my talent would be my ability to lead, right? But my ability to lead was practiced within my household, right? And so therefore the competency came about from the experiences that I had through life. And I'm so happy that I figured out how to say it that way, because my stepdad, used to say all the time when I was growing up, you are the manager. And for the longest time, I ran from that. And then look at me today. I am the manager, right? So that goes back, and I brought this up because that goes back to when she says, call on those who know you, right? So depending on what your role, everybody, I am the mama bird, right? To all of my friends, anybody that spends time with me, I'm the hostess with the mostest. I am, it's just like, I got you, right? I got you. And that comes from all of who I am as well as my experiences. I got you, right? So that's who I am. And I can call on anyone to say that, right? But at different aspects and points of my life, I was not listening to that, because I promise you, I have gone around the world 10,000 times, been in the belly of the whale like Jonah, before I got right back to my stepdad's words, you are the manager, right? So, take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, some people's 10,000 hours are direct and right there, and they accomplish it, like Michael Jordan's and LeBron's and Kobe Bryant's, and I don't know why I'm only focusing on basketball, but you know what I mean? Like some people, like I mentioned earlier, doctors, right? I told you I was going to get excited. I'm trying not to get excited because I love talking about how to be the best you that you are, right? I love that. So, so some of us, we reach that 10,000 by being direct there, like Michael Jackson's, what is her name? Beyonce's, there's people that just, they're groomed. They practice those 10,000 hours. That's who they are. There are a lot of the times the people that die very young, right? Because of the fact that, they accomplish their goal really quick and really fast, right? So that 10,000 hours that they practice, they figured out their purpose. They know that's why they're here. And they just go for it, right? So we know those people, those are the greats that we hear about, but then there's some of us like myself that just takes that long way around. It takes a little bit of time before you get to the you, right? So that story is still just as great because with taking that long time, Your you means that you are able to identify with a lot more people, right? Because you end up having so many different experiences and coming around to that 10,000 hours of practice that you are able to relate and reach a lot of people. So it's a difference, like she mentions, she talks about the competency versus the ability, right? Ability is what you practice. You have the ability to be any and everything if you practice it for 10,000 hours. I can simply go and play the piano if I practice for 10,000 hours. I know how to play the piano, right? 10,000 hours of me speaking a language, I know how to speak that language. That's ability, right? But when it comes to competency, it's going to be when you have those conversations in that language. How fluent are you? How like are you able to connect? Can you adapt in that environment when you get into the personal characteristics? Can you live overseas and use that language, right? I'm a person, you got to just throw me in it, right? If you put me over there, I'm going to speak, I'm going to talk, I'm going to do what I need to do because that's my personal characteristic, right? So, it just looks different for different people. Don't worry about how it looks with other people. Do your thing. Be you. Be the best you. That's my favorite thing. Be the best you. So yeah. So when you find out that you and you're walking in that confidence, there's nothing no one can come and tell you about being you. It is such a beautiful light. In you. Okay. So number 2, unsure, try it. That's right. The best way to get to know yourself and learn about your talents to invest in a range of different experiences, try new activities you've never tried before. And even if you've tried that, you're not as good at them as you would hope to be. You'll discover more about yourself in doing so, right? So my grandmother always says it, and I certainly live it, is I would try everything at least once, right? So maybe not twice. I know some people are like, no, I do it twice. And I'm like, no, I know the first time. So I do try things that I get introduced to at least once, if I'm interested. If I'm not, then I'm just not, and I'm a very stubborn girl in that way, where if I'm not, I'm not. Like there's no getting around it. But I do try to try things at least once. I do try to always stay open. Because for everything I believe in life, we're here to learn and have experiences. We are humans, you know what I mean? So I always tell people we're spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So we fight fist, tooth, and nail to come down here and play, right? So, make the most of it. And like she says, if you're unsure, try it. Just try it. Just go out and try it and see what it is. And know that you can always come back into your safe place, when you try it. If you don't like it, just return back home. All right. And then number 3, explore memories. Think back to times when you practiced something and didn't even feel the time passing you by. The chances are, if the time flew by, then talent may have to do with this, right? So when you're good at something, it's common to enjoy spending time on and getting involved with it. So I definitely agree with this. I have been practicing that in my life, and how I got here today. I just kept crying out like I want to do things and get paid for just being me. Right? So I'm like, I just want to be me, right? I'm really good at making money, but once I make all the money, I'm not happy, because I'm not doing something that I'm enjoying. Instead, I'm just doing things to make money. So, that I think that piggybacks off of and doing the things that you enjoy with, and you don't notice time passing by, right? You're just existing and you're just, in your zen, you're in your flow, right? So those things, if you can find a way to make an income at that, which I help my clients do. Again, link is in the bio, right? So plug, so promotion, always. Yeah, definitely. I do totally believe in doing those things that you love, because the way they explain it is, if you're doing what if you're working, doing something that you love, then you're not working. And it's not that you're not working, right? It's you're just enjoying your work. And when you enjoy what you are doing, the time flies by. And when the time flies by, you're having fun, right? So I think I mentioned this in one of my videos. I'm sure I have, because I say it often in life. If you, I know I'm excited because I'm saying a lot, but if you're enjoying what you're doing, regardless of what it is, that's all we have to do once we're adults, right? We when we're kids, we have kind of this, I go to school, I come home, my parents tell me what to do. I go to school, the school people tell me what to do, and you, for 17, 18 years, this is where you exist and what you're doing. And then boom, all of a sudden you're an adult, and now it's up to you what you do with your time and your energy. And you certainly don't want to use that time and energy on drinking and doing drugs, right? Because you got to make money to even do that, right? So the goal is to try to find something that you enjoy doing, and understand that that's all you're going to be doing for the rest of the time. So you want to at least enjoy it. And I love this article. This was really great. So it says, think of your actions that led to the resolution of a problem, helped someone, or created something new and exciting. It is extremely important to remember and acknowledge your accomplishments. Yes, yes, yes. Please acknowledge your accomplishments. Please tell yourself how great you are. You need that. You need that great and amazing, fantastic self-talk. You need that. It says these will help you to truly discover yourself and your talents. After you've put all these steps into practice and figured out what your skills are, what do? The first thing is to exercise them. As no skill can stand alone, it is vital to practice and continually work to improve. And so, yes, I think that it says the second is to look for other professionals who can give you necessary guidance, such as a mentor and courses that can help you to channel your gifts. And then in addition, a great way to grow professionally with what you know how to do is to show it to the world and share it with others. For examples, let's suppose you have a hobby in graphic design. Create a blog or YouTube channel to review and share your graphic design insights. The most important thing is to become a reference on the subject, no matter what. Someone somewhere in the world will find you and call you to work for a company. You can start to gain experience and then start your own business, or find people who believe in your ideas and want to invest in them. And if you're looking for that mentor to help you, click the link in the bio today. Again, my name is Kendra and I am the official business renovator, and I hope that you enjoyed this video today. Thank you.